to vote, we get it maybe once or twice a year, I would really wish you would consider putting that at 8 p.m. like it usually is, just for people who do find it difficult to get back to town by 6 p.m. And believe me, I do desire to vote.
We do have it on the agenda.
Yeah,
We are going to address it.
yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah. In special town meeting, and I think last meeting you discussed having a vote about a loan on a special town meeting in July, which you had pushed up from a November vote due to agency regulations and such. Special town meetings, and I guess from the history of special town meetings, we usually don't get very good turnouts. I mean, most of the time it's held down here, and most of the time we don't get the turnout that we should be having on voting on things like this. They're pretty important when it comes to voting on a loan, and I think, and especially where we got a vote in June. I'm just curious why a month's difference. We know the June vote's going to bring out a good crowd. I don't think it would be that much difficult to explain. You may have to have a hearing beforehand or something to alert the people what this is all about, but geez, it don't seem as though that would take a whole lot of time to explain to people, this is what's in the works, this is what we're looking at for a loan, this is how much it's going to add to the budget per year, and try to get the best turnout we can to vote on it. And I really believe it's either June turnout, a June voting date, or a November voting date. Them are just well-known voting times. July is not a good date. Nobody wants to. Everybody's gone, to camp or on vacation. I mean, that is the vacation month in Maine. There ain't many months in Maine you get to enjoy. And that happens to be a month of enjoyment. And that's all I have. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Dan. Okay, appointments, new business. Okay, we have to appoint Linda to the town manager, town manager, road commissioner, tax collector, town clerk, and treasurer.
Can be done in the motion.
Can move that one motion?
See why not, as long as the motion carries all the titles.
I move that we appoint Linda Pedro Wentworth to all of the items mentioned in new business A1.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous, Sam?
Did your shoulder just lift a little bit?
Big smile, my friend.
All that stuff.
I knew you weren't speaking to her. No, I wasn't speaking to Linda. It went down a little bit.
Just getting a little shorter all the time.
Okay.
We use black pen.
As long as you use a pen.
I'm gonna just pass them along. I'm gonna sign it all.
I hope you're kidding.
Go one that way.
Only Mackie can use both.
Good students, they can get those.
You must be taking me back to the office, 'cause I'm not going back.
Not going back?
I'm not going back. I'll be back Wednesday.
There's paper.
Because they don't have the same.
They were going around.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Yes, the shoulders get heavier.
Some time for that.
The next item, just so you know, Linda and I agreed that I would head up this meeting, and if she wants to come up with it, she'll interject when she's comfortable. But since these are the topics that I put together, that I would continue on.
Makes sense.
The second item is Chief Pickett approached me about appointing former Sergeant Howe to the lieutenant's position. He makes his case, I think you have it on the back of the appointment paper. Chief makes his case as to the benefits of appointing former Sergeant Howe to Lieutenant Howe. I talked it over with him, and I agreed with his reasoning. So I appointed Jeffrey Howe as lieutenant, effective today.
It's on the back.
So the reasoning's on the
Any problem with the date?
for today.
Curious what pay.
Depends on what time I sign that, right?
You know, the contract started.
Yeah.
I can sign it too.
Yeah, that's probably a good point, that Linda would have to sign this as well, because this is dated for today, and technically today, Linda is the town manager, who's got the powers of appointment. So this appointment is good from May 13th until June 30th, when all our appointments run out, and then obviously we go through in June the reappointment process. So in order for this to be effective, as Linda points out, rightfully so, she needs to countersign this. And then what I would ask for is just a vote of confirmation, just so you know what's happening and you're aware of it.
You know, he can't be for the sergeant.
Right, he's not going to be sergeant no more.
Yeah, I don't know how that will affect. I don't think it will change.
I have to change the description of the police, because it's a different position.
Right. I don't know if we
I don't know.
can we discuss this openly? It's have to be discussed in executive session.
Yeah.
On
An appointment, you can express.
Well, no,
It's
there's
something to
some
do with-
questions about the appointment.
Right.
In regards
Something
to
that's
union.
ongoing right now is the issue that I'm.
He's not in.
You didn't,
Okay, if
Yeah.
I'm out of line when I say it, you say stop talking and we'll go to executive session.
Okay.
But my concern is that, well, I got a couple, but not with him becoming a lieutenant, by the way. But he voted, there was a vote cast not to enter into a union
No,
by himself.
there was a no vote.
For,
you didn't
There was
vote it.
no vote for that position, and because there was no vote, it was deemed a no vote by Labor Board.
okay, so now that he's in a lieutenant's position, does he have to initiate pursuing something in that position for union, or is it just
No.
a moot issue now?
That's a moot issue.
Okay, that was one question.
Yes.
The second one I had was by him being promoted to lieutenant, which I think is great, because I agree with the reasoning behind that. But does that mean the rest of the agency will be restructured? Is somebody going to be promoted to fill that sergeant's position?
No.
There it is.
It's going to be a...
What, are you hiding behind him?
No, it's going to be, the sergeant's position is going to still remain there, but it's not going to be filled. It's not
Okay, and the reason I'm asking that is because we had already voted on the budget.
Exactly. And as you can see on the bottom of the reasoning there's an indication right there. It said there's no pay increase.
No
Sure.
pay increase.
I saw that for him, but I didn't know if there was
No,
going to be
not going to be
something
any
else happening.
no, the only thing's changing is the sergeant is going to be, is the lieutenant. There's not going to be any other rank other
Okay.
than just patrolman, lieutenant, chief.
And I'd also like to address that by saying that I did ask the chief to amend his current police policies to, there's nothing in there about promotions or command structure in the current policies. I've asked the chief to develop a policy on promotions and on command structure, so that everybody will know how that works, because right now it's up in the air.
Right.
So that's the first place I looked, is our policies and whether it can be done or not.
Now, because he, Chief, oh.
Yeah.
No,
I spilled my coffee, I was just gonna get something to.
Because he's being promoted to lieutenant into an administrative position, is he now not eligible for the regular overtime because he's administration?
No,
Or
he's staying at the same rate of pay, the same hourly rate. It's
everything's
an
the
hourly
same?
position.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, go ahead. Question?
On the vote,
I would ask for a confirmation vote, just so everybody knows that this is being done, and, yeah, I know it's only for a short period of time, but this is just a vote of confirmation, and you don't have to, it's up to you.
this will do it. Can I have a motion, please?
Yeah, I'll move we accept the promotion of Jeff Howley to the position of lieutenant.
Second. Discussion? Those in favor? Unanimous, Sam? Two of them?
Just one, the second page is the reason. Okay, so that's- You're absolutely right on that date. I mean, I did it thinking, okay, he'll start Monday, and
Are you all in agreement?
I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We supposed to have two.
yes.
No, I was looking at that. I'm trying
Oh,
to
it's,
see
it's, it's confusing, and I'll try to explain to the best of my ability. And we have Linda's knowledge for some additional stuff. I really take my hat off to this woman. I think she's done, from what I've seen, she's already taught me stuff, so I think you guys are in great hands, to be honest with you. Town meeting warrant. I've prepared two versions, there's actually a couple extra. I've prepared two versions of the town meeting warrant. Because after you saw the last draft, a couple issues came up. The first issue is, has to do with our fire codes and the adoption of the NFP? NFPA codes. Scott had some concerns after speaking with the fire marshal. We brought those concerns to the lawyer. The lawyer addressed those concerns in an article, and that article is in one version. That article exists on the warrant, and in one version it does not, dealing with the NFPA. And I'm not sure if you have it. It's Article 28. There's a version of the warrant that only goes through the first 20. They all have 28. One has 29. Article 29. So if you have the warrant, if you have the warrant that goes through 28,
The ones that was on.
Yeah, but it said there's a 29.
if you have the one that goes through 28, it is it on there? It's not on there. If you have the one that has Article 29, it is on there.
But it becomes
Yeah.
Article 28.
But it becomes Article 28.
Okay.
The second issue that Linda pointed out to me today, which I appreciate, is that, and it was actually a function of answering Mr. McKay as part of his questions in terms of snowmobile registrations. All the checks that we got from the state for snowmobiles have historically been passed to the Snowmobile Club as part of their trail maintenance. But the money, I learned today, comes as two separate